Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we are going to start with a new chapter, that is chapter 4, the American Civil War. Before starting the chapter, I would like to tell you what do we mean by civil war. A civil war is a war between two sides of the same country. A civil war is also known as an interstate war. It is a war between organized groups within the same state or country. The aim of one side may be to take control of the country as a region to achieve independence for a region or to change government policies. Simply, we can say that a civil war is fought between two sides or faction in the same country. For example, the American Civil War was fought between Americans in the northern and southern states of America. Second example we can have of Russia, where war was fought between two armies, the white and the red. In the previous chapter, I explained you a little about how the American and French Revolution inspired the people of many countries to rebel against autocratic rulers and foreign rule. In this chapter, we will learn about the American Civil War, which was a part of the American Revolution only. Now, you all must be having a question in your mind that what is the difference between the American Revolution and the American Civil War. The American Revolution was a war fought between Great Britain and the American colonies to gain independence that resulted in the independence of America from Britain on 4th July 1776 and led to the establishment of the United States of America or USA as an independent nation, while the American Civil War was a war fought from 1861 to 1865 between the northern and southern states of America, mainly on the issue of practicing slavery. After winning independence from Britain in 1776, the northern and southern states of the United States of America developed in two different ways. The northern states of USA consisted of the areas north of Pennsylvania, while the southern states comprised the territories south of Maryland, as you all can see in the map given. As time passed, severe differences divided the states of USA, leading to the American Civil War from CE 1861 to CE 1865. These 4 years of war caused lot of grief and bitterness, but however, it proved to be a turning point in American history. There were several causes responsible for the outbreak of the Civil War. The most important among them was the difference between the northern and the southern states. The progress of northern and southern states was totally different due to widely different economies. The northern states had a large number of manufacturing industries that resulted in growth of several towns and cities. The southern states were dependent on agriculture and plantations since the climate favored the growth of crops like cotton, rubber and tea. Being contrasting economies, their needs and demands were different too. The northern states need wage earning and skilled workers for their factories, not the slaves. There was also a strong anti-slavery movement going on in northern states led by English reformers and social groups. As a result of slavery was abolished or ended in the north, while in southern states, plantations and agricultural fields needed a large amount of labor, for which slaves were used. As a result, all parts of the South were dependent on slave labor and slave trade. Slave labor means a large group of people performing labor work under pressure or threat, just like a prisoner under their master, while slave trade means buying and selling of human beings as slaves to work in the plantation fields. The North wanted slavery to be banned or ended in the southern states as well. These differences between the North and the South ultimately led to a civil war. Our next topic is causes of the American Civil War. Now, one by one, we will discuss about these causes in detail. The first main cause of the Civil War was slavery. The American Civil War was mainly the result of the dispute between the North and the South over the question of abolition of slavery. It was an issue of social justice. The slaves in USA were treated very badly. They could not own property. They were treated as personal belongings of their owners. They had no right to family life and could not leave their owners without their permission. They did not dare or tried to run away for fear of harsh punishment if caught. The point here was that the northern states thought that the idea of a republic was incomplete without the abolition of slavery. So they adopted a strategy to slowly discourage the practice of slavery until it became gradually extinct. The southern states criticized this strategy, stating that they mainly depend on slavery. They were of thinking that putting an end over slavery would affect their economy due to their high dependence on unpaid laborers and investment that they had made for buying these slaves. Here I would like to make you all aware of the literary movement that started against slavery that time. Poet John Greenleaf Whittier came to be known as the ballad singer of the anti-slavery movement. Ballad means a long song or poem that tells a story. The second one was Harriet Beecher Stowe, who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin in 1852. It tells the story of Uncle Tom, a black slave, and his life under a cruel plantation owner. At the plantation, Uncle Tom was treated so badly that he dies through all his sufferings. However, he maintains his dignity and respect and his faith in God. This book raised anti-slavery sentiment around the world and played a major role in sparking the American Civil War. Second cause of the American Civil War was the disagreement over the tariffs between the northern and the southern states. Now, what do we mean by tariffs? These are taxes imposed on exports and imports. In simple words, a tax on goods coming into or going out of a country. The southern states wanted less tariffs and free trade for their plantations, while the northern industrialists wanted more tariffs and protectionism to boost their industries, or we can say for the growth of their industries. The southern states felt the increase in tariffs favored the northern states and hurt them. Thus, the southerners opposed protective tariffs because it increased the price of things imported from the northern states. This further led to clashes between the two. Third cause of the American Civil War was the admission of new states to their territories. Here, the controversy arose over keeping the states as free states or slave-owning states. In 1849, California was the first state to join the USA as a free state, followed by Texas, New Mexico, and other states. This further led to bitterness between the North and the South. Here came the final trigger of the American Civil War in 1861, when Abraham Lincoln was elected as the 16th President of the USA. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809 in Kentucky. He was witty, kind-hearted, and thoughtful. First, he became a member of the Republican Party in 1854 and then got elected as president in 1861. He was the one who gave the concept of a government that was of the people, by the people, and for the people. He was well known for his anti-slavery position. Now, the southern states feared that Lincoln would free all the states in the country and would put an end to slavery. So, even before Lincoln took his office, 7 of the slave-owning states had already declared secession from the Union. Secession means to withdraw, or we can say the act of leaving an organization or government, especially the decision of a state to separate from the government of the United States. In December 1860, South Carolina was the first state to secede, followed by Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina. All these 11 states came together and formed the Confederate States of America in February 1861, adopting a new flag. In the given map, we can see how some of the border states behaved during the war. Even those border states which remained within the Union had the option of keeping slaves. Some of them were against slavery, but were not in favor of secession, so they continued to remain with the Union. Lincoln believed that Union of the States of USA was permanent and that no state had the right to secede from the Union. Finally, it resulted in the outbreak of the American Civil War from 1861 to 1865. The American Civil War was fought between the northern states and the southern states. The southern states were called the Confederate under their president Jefferson Davis and their general Robert E. Lee, while the northern states were called the Union under their president Abraham Lincoln with their general Ulysses Grant. The secession of the southern states was unacceptable to the Union. Finally, confident of his victory, the Confederates started the war by launching an attack on Fort Sumter in South Carolina, which belonged to the federal government. Hostilities, or we can say opposition, began when the Southerners opened fire and bombarded the Fort Sumter in 1861. Now, at this time, Abraham Lincoln was forced to declare war on the southern states. 12th April 1861, which lasted for 4 years until 1865. In April 1861, the Union under Abraham Lincoln adopted the blockade, under which the Union Navy was asked to close the ports of the Southern Confederacy. Vessels or ships attempting to enter the harbors were to be captured. Now, at this time, the South was forced to rely mainly on its meager or small industries for the supply of guns and ammunition. In 1862, Lincoln came into a policy for slaves known as Emancipation Proclamation. This was a giant step towards abolition of slavery. This policy was mainly based on freeing the slaves of the southern states and winning their support. In June 1863, Confederate forces led by Robert E. Lee fought against the Union Army under the command of George C. Meade at Gettysburg. Both the sides suffered more than 45,000 casualties, means death. Finally, Lee retreated, or we can say he moved backwards. The Battle of Gettysburg is considered a turning point in the American Civil War. Abraham Lincoln played a very important role in the American Civil War. He was a great orator. The famous speech he gave at Gettysburg, known as the Gettysburg Address in 1863 at the dedication of the military cemetery, is considered one of the greatest speeches in American history. Now, I would like to play for you all the speech that he gave. It is also written, by the way, in your book on page number 33. The famous speech that Abraham Lincoln gave to the Americans that united the Americans all together and gave them a new hope for a better future. Now let's listen to the speech in his own words.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
In 1864, General Grant attacked the Confederate Army in Virginia. Ultimately, after 4 years of fighting, the Confederate, or we can say the Southern states, were defeated. The war came to an end on 9th April 1865 when the Confederate Army surrendered. Thus, the war to preserve the American Union ended. The American Civil War had important consequences, though it resulted in huge loss of life and property in America. The Civil War made it quite clear that the secession of any of the state would be held as an act of rebellion. The war upheld the importance of a central government. The USA became one single nation under a strong central government. The Civil War abolished slavery once and for all. America became a country where all citizens, whether black or white, were given equal rights. America set up a common banking system. Construction of roads and railways was taken on a large scale. Progress was made in both sectors, whether industrial or agricultural. This period of constructions and development came to be known as the Reconstruction period. All this led to USA becoming one of the most powerful industrialized nation of the world.